Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and today's episode is bittersweet. I'm excited about it. I think a lot of people have been waiting for it. I think some people like me are going to be a little bit sad that it's come to an end, but this is the last video of the cross-country collection. And you guys know I have a playlist on the channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, God, you've got a lot of catching up to do. Go have fun. There's a playlist with 100, I think it's 128 videos, maybe 130, I don't know, something like that. Today's video, we're going through almost all the data. Not all, almost all the data. I'm going to share with you how much I paid, how much the travel cost, how much the hotels cost, how much the cards cost, how much the grading cost. All the costs, that's fine. Then we're going to look at some of the biggest and the best cards that came out of the cross-country collection from PSA grading. We're going to talk about the percentage that cards got. Not just what percentage did the cards get overall, but like Jordan cards, Jordan refractors, Jordan atomic refractors. We want to know, right? The question on everybody's mind is, are they pop controlling Jordan cards? And I think the results might surprise you. They very much surprised me, and I was the guy that submitted all these damn cards. And so when I finally went back, I created a spreadsheet. I marked down every single card in the collection that I sent to PSA. I marked down every single card that came back, what grade it got. Some of those I cracked and resubbed. I've got it all for you today. You guys are going to love this video. Stay tuned. PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code CAJUN, all caps, C-A-J-U-N, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. All right, here we go. You will know how I do it. I just make a spreadsheet, I share it. I don't have fancy graphics. It's just a damn Excel spreadsheet, which I kind of port over into Google Sheets, and this is as good as it's gonna get. So forgive me if this is not good enough, but I'll let the data speak for itself on this. I don't need fancy bells and whistles or high quality stuff to send you guys and share with you guys some great content. All right, so let's talk about it. We have got the summary of all of the cross-country cards submitted to PSA. First question everybody wants to know is how many cards were in this collection? And it's really funny because when I first put this together, even after I went up there and brought the cards back, I was like, I think the first couple thumbnails said I bought a 35,000 card collection. Whoa, I was way off. I did not count every card, but I am gonna go out on a limb. I think the collection was approximately 100,000 to 120,000 cards. If I had to guess, I would say about 4,000 were Michael Jordan cards. That's maybe between 4,000 and 5,000 of the cards in this collection were Michael Jordan cards. And if you guys watch the playlist, you guys know there was more. There was some crazy stuff in here. There was unopened boxes. There were sealed sets. There's all sorts of Jordan-only products. There's, for God's sakes, I don't even think I shared with you guys all the starting lineup figures and cards that came. There was like 30 or 40 of those, all of the Jordans. So total number of cards, I'm guessing 100 to 120,000. How much did the Connecticut trip cost? So hotel, airfare, rental car extension. If you watched episode number 2, you guys know, or maybe it was 3, we ran into some time issues when we got up there. And so we didn't even fly back on the airplane. We had to drive all this stuff back to the great state of Louisiana, 24, 26 hours, something like that. I can't remember. Had to pick up another hotel room, had to pay an extra $1,100 for the rental car. So the total cost of just the trip to Connecticut was $4,564. And if you'll recall, it was a 2-person trip. I brought my second oldest son, Cameron, with me, Cajun Jr. We brought him up there. So that's flight, food, airfare, rental upcharge in that shitty ass hotel in Meridian. No, not Meridian. What was it called? Meriden? I can't even remember what it was called. But it was a little city just outside of where we were in Connecticut. It was a horrible hotel, horrible service, horrible people, dirty, nasty, filthy, poorly lit, which was depressing. Watch episode number 2 or 3 if you want to know more about that shitty hotel. How many cards did I submit to PSA? Okay, so let's see. I did this maybe September, October, something like that. So what are we in? June. So this has been 8, 9 months, something like that. 8, 9, 10 months, something like that. I submitted a total of 1,578 individual submissions. The reason I don't say it wasn't 1,578 unique cards, because I am going to guess I cracked and resubbed maybe 25 to 30, maybe 35 to 40, something like that. So it was probably 15, 20, 15, 15, 15, 25 unique individual, separately unique cards, but 1578 total numbers submitted to PSA. Some of those cards were submitted twice. Some were submitted, well, actually, I guess it's, yeah, some of them were submitted like 3 or 4 times because they wouldn't grade the damn things. But then they finally did grade some of them. How many cards did I submit to BGS? 26. Some of the cards I sent to BGS, they seemed like a better fit for BGS. That turned out to backfire badly. I got significantly worse grades from BGS than I did from PSA. So anybody out there who thinks BGS grades more leniently, I only have a 26 card sample size, but that was not in my experience. If you want to go look for yourselves, you can go look. Now, here's the deal. Some of the cards that were in that 26 card BGS submission were cracks that came back from PSA that sucked. And so I sent them to BGS. You know, maybe it comes back to PSA 6 and I send to BGS. I'm like, well, maybe I'll get it 8.5. Oh no, I got murdered by BGS as well. So BGS was an unexpectedly negative detour just on 26 cards. So how much did the total grading cost? This is BGS and PSA together. You're reading that right. Look, I got it highlighted here for you. $39,803 dollars were spent on grading. Yes, and remember, my price point to purchase the collection, whenever anybody asks me how much I'll buy for it, out of respect to the seller, I am not going to share with you, and this is a spoiler alert, I'm not sharing with you the total amount paid and the total amount I've sold, because a lot of the cards I didn't sell. And I'm not going to share with you the total market value of all of the cards. I know what it is, but I'm not sharing with you out of respect of the deal and the seller. And just because there's a lot that goes into it, and you know, the first inclination from people watching would be like, well, you made 100 grand, you robbed that guy. Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've probably spent 400 or 500 hours screwing around with this collection. That's 500 hours of work, right? You get paid to work, don't you? Now, was it fun? Hell yeah, it was fun. But that's 500 hours, 400 hours away from my family. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I've spent, hell, just on these videos, I've spent, you know, well over 100 hours, I'm sure. I mean, well over 100 hours preparing them, putting them together, talking, doing them, recording them, uploading them, post-producing them. Of course, I've got 130 videos, for God's sakes. I can't do a video in an hour total. So, you know, again, I'm not going to give you the beginning and the end and let you guys do the math. You will get some information that will help you, you know, obviously confirm the deal made sense for the seller and the buyer. And I will just tell you, based on my conversations with the seller, Mr. Bob, who was, again, an OG. He was phenomenal. He, again, we still text each other. He and I, this ended up almost exactly what we were expecting, you know, based on PSA grading. It's crazy. After sending 1,578 cards, I told Bob, I was like, this is what I kind of need my margin to be. And he's like, that makes perfect sense to me. And we kind of talked through that. And, you know, and I accepted a lot of risk on a lot of this stuff as well. And I had some good results and some bad results. And you guys know that if you've watched the first 120 whatever videos. There were some PSA orders that were uproariously, hilariously pathetic. They were absolutely indefensibly awful. And then there were some where I literally hit grand slam home runs. It didn't seem like there were too many PSA grade reveal videos that were down the middle. It was that's what was so weird. I kept saying it was like a roller coaster. So 39,803 I sent to PSA, and then maybe about 1,000 I sent to BGS. How many times did I get upcharged by PSA? This is a question people like. I hear people bitching about upcharges all the time. I was begging for upcharges, because if I got an upcharge, right, that means I got a 10 almost every single time. One time I didn't. It was on an Illuminator where I got a PSA 9, and I'll show you that card in just a second. That's one of the cards I added to my collection. So I'd say 12 to 15 upcharges out of 1,578. So about 1% of my cards got, less than 1% probably, got upcharged. How many cards did PSA not grade? That means, believe it or not, there's an N1. I don't even know what the hell that is. N1, N6, N8, N9, miscut, altered, this, that, and we just don't grade them. I don't even know what all the N's stand for, but if I saw an N, that was bad. How many times did I get an N? The answer is 68. 68 of the 1,578 got N's or did not get graded. Some of those were resubmitted. So I might get back an N6, right? Min size, something like that. And the first submission in submission number 2. And then I sent it back in submission number 8. It might come back min size again. Well, maybe I sent it back in submission number 21. Well, that's 3 submissions. So that's going to be included in the 1578 3 times. So that's 3 of the 1578. How many cards did I add to my collection? This is what gets me moist. This is what makes me so excited. 140 new cards added to my collection, and every single one of the 140 are Michael Jordan basketball cards. So I upgraded and or added new unique cards to my collection, 140 of them. That is why I was so intrigued and enthralled and so willing to take risk and to kind of push through this and work through this, is because I knew there was a light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, I was going to get my money back selling a bunch of non-Jordan stuff and some of the Jordan stuff that I already had duplicates of. But the most important part of this was that I knew I was going to take my personal Michael Jordan collection to the next level, and I did that for sure. And I'll show you some of the cards, substantiating that assertion in just a second. Stay tuned. I got a shareable PSA link with, 4 of the best cards that I kept in my collection, and I have got a list of the top 10 most valuable Jordan cards, and then I've got another list of the 5 most valuable non-Jordan cards that came out of this collection. These are not new cards. These are all cards you guys have seen in the mail days. I just pulled them all together to share with you. Now let's look at some of the cool stuff. All right, here we go. Like we said, 1,578 cards. There you go. It's on your screen. How many of them got PSA 10? 250. That's a 15.8% gem rate. I'll be honest with you. I know this ain't ultra-modern soccer, okay? This ain't, Anthony Richardson or Dick Richardson or whatever fucking quarterbacks' names are. I don't pay attention to football. This is not Brock Purdy, shiny select rookie base cards, right? These are freaking cards that are 25 years old minimum. Some of these are 35 years old. These are old-ass cards. 15.8% gem on a 1,578 sample size. I'm fine. That is higher than I expected. I expected a single-digit gem percentage because I do these PWCC videos. I do this card ladder data dive. I do that stuff. That's generally what I'm seeing on relevant Michael Jordan basketball cards. So 15.8% on all cards submitted. PSA 10. PSA 9 is the biggest percentage, and I'm fine with that, right? It's like hitting a double. There's value in PSA 9s, especially if you're submitting at $16, $19, something like that. So 34% of the 1578 came back PSA 9s. PSA 8 and 8.5 I put together. There was only like 11 or 12 PSA 8.5s, so it's not a huge selection. I just wanted to be very clear. I'm combining 8s and 8.5s. I just treat them the same. 430. So as you can see, if you add those two up, by far the vast majority of the cards, almost 2/3 of the cards came back either 8 or 9. That's great. The 7s is where I get pissy. I'll be honest with you. 277 came back 7 or worse, right? And I'm not talking about authentic or N6, N8, N9, N5, N4, whatever. I'm talking about actually got numerical grades, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, right? 277. That sounds like a lot, but I will be honest with you. Some of those cards I knew were going to come back 7 or below, and it still made sense to grade. Now, some of them look like 10s, and they came back 6 and 7. And that means either I'm dumb and I don't know what I'm doing, although the numbers sort of back me up. The dollar numbers back me up. I kind of did know what I was doing. And then as far as not graded, remember we said they did not grade 68. Well, you'll see not graded right here. It says 82. And so you're like, what? You said 68. Why did it say 82? Well, I'm including authentic only requests. Some of the cards I thought were going to grade a 1 or terrible, or I didn't want a numeric grade for one reason or another. So I requested authentic only because I thought they looked terrible. And I'd rather it just say authentic than PSA 3 or 4, right? And so 14 of those where I requested authentic only, and all those cards sold. And so, you may not agree with that attack. You may say, you know what, you should get a number grade no matter what, or you should have just sold it raw, Cajun. I was like, well, I don't like selling raw cards because I don't like dealing with returns and all that stuff. I like to get the cards slabbed authentic so people can, look at it, the PSA slab. At least they know it's real. It presents better. It preserves the condition of this you know, these cards are 25, 35 years old, and let people judge for themselves whether they think the cards are 3, 4, 5. You want to crack it and resubmit it and get a 6 or an 8 or a 4 or whatever, do it yourself. So 14 authentic only. So when you add those up, there you go. There's 1578. That's all cards. That's Jordan, Kobe, Shaq, Iverson, Duncan, you know, Mehmet Okur, Bryant Reeves, freaking Antoine Carr, everything, right? Not that I sent any Antoine Carrs or Bryant Reeves. All right, let's talk about what people want to see, right? They want to talk about the Jordan, they want to talk about the Jordan cards. Well, 1,077 of the 1,578, almost exactly 2/3 of the cards that I submitted were Michael Jordan cards. How cool, how fun is that to look in the rearview mirror and know I sent over 1,000 Michael Jordan cards to PSA from one collection. That is fun, and that's what intrigued me so much about tackling this project. Here's the crazy thing, right? They pop control MJ, right? Apparently not. I have a higher gem percentage on Michael Jordan cards than on Michael Jordan and non-Michael Jordan cards combined. That's interesting to me, okay? Because I have sent thousands, tens of thousands of cards to PSA in the past, and I also think that there is a heightened level of scrutiny when they grade Michael Jordan cards. I've talked to Nat about it. I've talked to other massive, much smarter, much more experienced Jordan collectors. Everybody's on the same page with that. You know, the cards, Michael Jordan cards that matter have a lower gem percentage than the non-Michael Jordan cards that don't matter as much. I do believe there is a heightened level of scrutiny. So that doesn't dispel that age-old notion that there's an extra eyeball on a Michael Jordan card that matters from the 90s. Okay, fine. So why do I think that there's a higher percentage? Well, you got to remember, of the 204 PSA 10s I got back, those aren't all scoring kings. Those aren't all, you know, star rubies. Those are including, you know, chintzy little paper base cards where PSA has no interest in pop controlling or hyper scrutinizing cards like this. So I do still think it's interesting. The other thing is what might pull down the all cards gem percentages. I sent a lot of 80s cards. I sent a lot of 86 Fleer, a lot of 86 Fleer, a lot of 81 tops, a lot of 1980 tops, a lot of 87, a lot of 88, hundreds if you add up those segments that I just mentioned, those sets from the 80s. Those are never going to grade 10. So that in and of itself is going to pull your gem percentage down significantly. But Jordan cards, 18.9% gem percentage. I'm with it, man. Let me know in the comments what you think. Am I nuts? Are you looking at this saying you're an idiot if you think 18.9% gem percentage is okay on Jordan cards? I do, because when I go into Card Ladder and I look at Jordan cards like every day of my life for years and years, and I know some of you guys watch and do the same thing, if you told me before I sent 1,578 cards that 18.9%, almost 1 out of 5 Jordan cards would come back a PSA 10, I would have done a backflip, and I can't do backflips. I'm 50 years old with a surgically repaired knee and a bunch of other issues. I couldn't have done a backflip, but I'd have done a backflip for this, right? For 1 out of 5 Jordan PSA 10s, I'd have done a backflip for that. Let me know what you think in the comments. PSA 9s, almost identical. Look at that, 34.2 all cards, 34.3 Jordan cards. And here's the thing, it's even closer because one of those is a PSA 9 OC, which sucks, right? We don't want that. For some reason, out of 1,578 cards, one card came back with an OC designation, and I was like, what? I thought they got rid of that. I don't even think they did that shit anymore. Somebody in the comments let me know if did I get screwed? Did somebody from the 70s grade my card? What's the deal with that? I thought they got rid of qualifiers, but maybe I'm wrong. PSA 8, PSA 8.5 combined, 25.2%. So a little bit lower number. PSA 7 or below, 16%, 177 of those. And then the Jordan cards, most of the cards that they didn't grade were Jordan cards that they didn't grade. But again, that also includes authentic requests, with cards where I said, you know what, don't give me a numerical grade, give me an authentic only. All right, that's enough. Jordan refractors, I sent 20 of them. You know, I mean, there's only so many Jordan refractors from the 90s, right? These are all 90s cards and 80s cards, and no refractors in the 80s. Refractors, I guess, start in 93 with finest #1, right? So, and I didn't send any 1999 refractors, so you're talking about 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. So there's 7 years of Jordan refractors in what I bought in this collection. 20 refractors, and the refractor percentages are not bad. 15%. 3 of them got PSA 10s, and we'll get to see one in just a second. It's a big one. It's a big one that I was not expecting, and it's low pop, and it matters. 9 of them got PSA 9s, which I was really thrilled about. That's a testament to my seller. That's a testament to Bob that he's kept these refractors clean in the dark place. There was no greening on 99.999% of the refractors. Didn't have any greening at all. Even the Class X, which are notoriously green, and the finest, and the NBA Star, all that stuff looked really good. PSA 88.54, PSA 7.3, and then 1. There's your percentages right there. So there's your 20 refractors. That includes atomics. Okay, so some of those 20 were atomics. What about just the atomics? Well, I sent 7 of those. And if you guys watched the hierarchy project on my channel, the Michael Jordan, Cajun Cardboard's Michael Jordan hierarchy, right, and the project, and all those videos, atomic refractors have high pack odds. Every atomic refractor matters. If you've got an atomic refractor that's a PSA 9 or better, it's $1,000 or more. If it's a PSA 10 or better, it can be up to $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. It just depends on the card, right? So atomic refractors, I got 2 PSA 10s. That's a win in my book, okay? 28%, that's over 1 out of, I mean, I sent 7 and 2 of them came back PSA 10s. Come on, I'll take it all day long. I got a 9, I got an 8, I got 2 7s, and then I got 1 that was lower than that. Not graded, sorry, it just wouldn't grade. So 7 atomic refractors. I thought I did pretty good on the atomic refractors. All right, what about just, this is Jordan and all the cards back together. So Bird, Magic, Shaq, Olajuwon, David Robinson, Kemp, everything I sent, right? How many cards came back out of the 1,578 worth more than $500? 7%, 117. So I got 117 $500 cards back. That's awesome. I like that. What about cards over $1,000? About half, 57. So 57 cards valued over $1,000, 4%, right? So 4 out of 100. 1 out of 25 came back valued over 100,000. Cards with a market value, and again, this is just, again, I'm not splitting hairs here, right? If it is a $5,015 card when I put this data together and now it's a $4,700 card, I am sorry, okay? These are not precise exact numbers. Well, the percentages are, but again, remember, it's based off, I'm taking a snapshot. Maybe the card goes down $1,000 this week. I have no freaking idea. You might watch this video a month from now and think I'm an idiot when I show you values. That's fine. I'm just putting a price tag on the cards at the time they came back from PSA and then calculating totals. Trust me, it's a lot of work to put this together. It isn't an exact science. It's not going to be perfect. Cards market value over 5,000, 6 of them. That's good. I think that's awesome, right? So 6 cards came back worth more than 5,000. 4 cards out of 1,578. So about 2.5 year, well, I got that wrong. 0.25%, really lower than that, came back. What is, let's see what that number is. Yeah, no, exactly 0.25%, almost. 4 out of 1,578 came back worth more than $10,000. All right, what do you want to know? You want to know what were the best? Let's pull it all together, Cajun. Stop talking. Pull it all together. What were the 10 best cards? Well, here you go. Here's your list. Here's your top 10 list of the most valuable cards. They all happened to be Jordan. They didn't have to be Jordan, right? I sent a bunch of Bird Magic rookies. I sent a bunch of big Kobe cards. You know, none of them cracked the top 10, although one Kobe came close in the very last submission, ironically. But the top 10 cards all happen to be Jordan. This is no surprise, right? The 1997 Skybox Premium Star Rubies is number 1. That is not a surprise. Here's the card we're looking at. This was the crown jewel. This is the card that Bob and I talked and discussed the most. We had a deal in place where I was going to send it. He assured me it was real because it was pack pulled. He said, look, if it comes back, let's talk, right? He just knew this thing was going to get a numeric grade. I thought it was going to be a 7. It came back at 8. I did the second backflip of my life with my surgically repaired knee. I was really excited about a PSA 8 on this card. That makes it a pop 9. There are only 8 higher. It is a serial number to 50 card on the back with that red foil. It's just freaking awesome. This card with that amoeba pattern in the background, you can't even read the Skybox Premium. It's so vibrant. This card really could have graded better. There's a little bit of an issue, I think. Top left, if you really, really want to get you know, tough, that could have knocked it. I thought it could have even got a 9 after I got it back in the slab. I was like, you know what, I'm happy with an 8, but damn, I just wanted a numeric grade on the card because this is tier 1. This is hierarchy tier 1, you know, probably in the top half of the tier 1 cards in my personal opinion. All right, going back. Let's look at the number 2 card. Was that atomic refractor that came back a PSA 10 that I told you guys I was not expecting. It's the 1996 Bowman's Best Michael Jordan atomic refractor. I've got in here a value of about 16. I think it's pushed 20. Maybe it's 13, 14. I don't know. I got 16 grand on here. I don't know what the damn card's worth. Let's see if I can find that card. No, next. We're going to talk about that one in a second. There you go. There it is. The 1996 Bowman's Best number 80 atomic refractor. This one really took me by surprise. I was not expecting this, and I definitely got upcharged on this card for sure. But that's it right there. So that atomic refractor comes back. That's the second biggest card at 16,000. I did get a 10 on a Flare Showcase, take it to .net. And the Championship Galaxy. I sold both of those cards instantly, immediately to a big collector here who has actually since sold those cards. He sold his whole collection, which saddens me because he was a great collector and a really good friend of mine. And he was kind of one of my buddies in the hobby that I love to talk to on a daily basis. I hope he comes back one day, but this dude prints money and he needs money for business and he makes gobs of money. And so he needed more liquidity. So he sold his collection, which really sucks. But anyway, long story short, so I sold both those cards to him. The Failure Showcase, Take It to .net, and the Metal Universe Championship Galaxy. Both those came back 10s. Obviously, I wasn't expecting 10s on any cards in this collection, and I got over 200 of them. That's a win. The 86 Fleer, you'll see a couple of Jordan 86 Fleer rookie cards in here. One of them got an 8.5. That's a great looking card. I've got about a 9,500 value on that card. I own a 10, so I have no interest in keeping an 8.5. In fact, I think that might have been one of the only 8.5s in the whole collection. Maybe 7 or 8 of those came back. I can't remember. The 97 Stadium Club Illuminator came back a 9. This thing looked good. Of course, you're always hoping and wishing for the stars. But here it is. This is the car, Illuminator. Over, I think it's 1 in 10,800 pack odds or something like that. Remember, there's the Luminous, the Luminescent, and the Illuminator. There's the T1B, the T9B, and then there's a members-only variation of the base. This is the Illuminator from T9B. It looks cool, okay? It's a great image. The card looks cool. It's crazy, crazy die cut, if you guys can't tell from the screen share. The back of it is what you just got to see. You've got to have this in your hands. You don't understand. I've never been a huge fan of the whole triumvirate deal. When I got the card in hand, I was like, oh, okay, now I see what everybody's talking about. This is special, right? So a PSA 9 came back. I think that's got about a $5,000 value. So that's in our top 10. Star Power Supreme, I got a 9. I already own a 10, so I let the 9 go. The 86 Fleer sticker came back a 9. I thought that one had a chance. I did think that one had a chance. That's a really good 9, and I sold it. That's a really good 9. I think a 10 last time I looked was like 35 grand or something nutso like that, 30 grand. 86 Fleer, another 86 Fleer base came back a 6. Somebody stole that from me, basically. I shouldn't say that in the hobby. Those are scary, but somebody bought that from me. I sold it for what a 6 is worth. That's a Kraken resub candidate. I know they're tough on 86 Fleer now. That was not a 6. That card deserved an 8, and I got a 6 on it. At the time, I needed to recoup, right? I had to borrow. I had to, draw money off my home equity line of credit, actually take out money to buy this collection. I told you I paid over 100 grand just for the collection. You saw what I had to pay PSA. You saw what I had to pay for the shitty hotel and the airfare. So I'm in a little bit deep, day one when I get back to Baton Rouge. So this 86 Fleer came back a 6. I thought it was an 8. If I had it in my hands right now, I would love to crack and resub that thing, right? Before it was in the old PSA slab, so it would be easy crack and resub. But I sold it as a 6 just to recoup 4 grand and just start paying off that loan because interest was running on that loan. And you guys, I don't have to tell you guys what interest rates are right now. If you're young and you don't know what an interest rate is, buddy, believe me, you will soon. 97 Flair Showcase Row 1, that's a base card, but it's a $3,600 base card, or at least I think it is. You guys tell me if I'm wrong on that. It should be about right. There it is. It doesn't look like a base card. It's special. It looks amazing. It's got that shimmer aspect to it. 97 Flair Showcase, Row 1, PSA 10. Not a high pop card and not your normal base card. So that was card number 10 to round out our top 10 right there. And then what about the non-Jordan cards? Well, there were non-Jordan cards in here and a lot of them mattered. I didn't do great on these, to be honest with you, notwithstanding the very last order, PSA order number 33. I got back this Kobe Bryant, which, hold on just a second. I am, you can tell none of this shit's planned. I'm terribly unorganized. I'm sort of organized, but every once in a while I do stupid crap. Let me get you on big screen. I've got it. This came in the last order. I didn't want to sell it to a repacker at a discount because I'd actually like to sell this for its value. It is the, can y'all see that? There you go. 1996 Flair Showcase Class of 96 insert. Kobe Bryant rookie card. Beautiful, beautiful card. I'm pretty sure the comps on this are about $2,900, $3,000. It is for sale. If you are interested in this card, Cajun_cardboard on Instagram. This is the only card from this entire collection that is for sale right now. So don't message me about any of the cards that I just went through on the list. Everything's been sold at about maybe 10% of the way through this collection. I started to, I had 2 or 3 breaker/repackers that would buy everything from me in bulk. Some of it I sent to PWCC early on, and then I started selling stuff in bulk to these repackers at you know, a percentage of comps, and it was a win-win. I didn't have to think about it. It was like, here's the spreadsheet, here's the comps, multiply it by the percentage, out the door. And so for me, I wasn't able to squeeze every drop of juice out of the berry, nor did I have the time to. At my age, you start to realize time is more important than money. And so time was precious, and it was starting to overwhelm me. So finding these repackers was a blessing for sure. And they're very good friends of mine, so I could trust them. They could trust me. I would ship the cards before I even got the payment because I knew it was coming. And that's the beauty of the hobby, is when you build relationships like that. But this is the only card left. It is for sale. I want this card sold. I don't know when you're going to see this video, but I want this card sold. I'm asking $2,700 for this card. $2,700 for this card, and it's yours. Go run the comps. I think the last 3, it's like $3,100, $3,000, $2,300 are the last 3 comps. I don't know what's right or what's wrong. I'm looking for $2,700. If not, I'll just sit on the card. I don't really care. But it is for sale. All right, let's get you back to the spreadsheet. So that was the best non-Jordan card of the whole thing, and that was literally in the last submission of 38 cards that card came back. Another Kobe Bryant, the 96 Topps Kobe Bryant rookie card came back a 10, so I got a paper Topps 10 Kobe. That's about a $750 card. God, remember what that crazy card was back in the day. And then the Charles Barkley 86 Fleer came back a 7. That was a card I wasn't going to send at first because it looked beat up to me. 7 was better than I expected. I thought it was a 5 or a 6. They gave me a 7. $700 card right there. Bird Magic. I think I got jobbed on this one. This looked way better than a 5. I thought it was a 7, which would have made it a couple grand. Came back a 5, about a $700 card. And the last one was a Flair Showcase Kobe Row 0, which I submitted. I think I submitted that one 3 times. I think I sent it to PSA, and it came back like a 6. I think I sent it to BGS and it came back like a 6.5 or something stupid. I can't remember. Go check the videos. And then I sent it again to PSA. It came back an 8, which is what I thought it deserved. And so that's a pretty big card right there too. A Row 0 Kobe Bryant rookie card's nice. So 3 out of the 5 non-Jordan cards, as far as value goes, were Kobe Bryant cards. That's it, guys. That's what I wanted to share with you guys. Again, 1,578 cards, almost 130 videos. I thought I bought a $30,000 card collection. It ended up being well over 100,000 cards. It was the most fun, the most anxiety, the most work, but the biggest learning experience, the best content. This has been the best thing I have probably. You know, as far as a personal collector, this has been the most fun I've had in the hobby. I think I've contributed things to the hobby that are more relevant and more helpful and more informative and educational and probably more well-received than this cross-country collection. But I wanted to share it with you guys from the beginning, the straight shit, the straight truth. If I did, you know, the only thing I didn't tell you is the total amount I paid for everything combined and the total amount I sold. You saw every single card that came back from PSA. You saw, I told you every single card I kept, every single card I sold. You saw a spreadsheet for every damn PSA order that I sent out there, except for one I think I accidentally recorded and then I lost it. So if you're looking, I think it's episode number, there was supposed to be an episode number 124, and I think you're not going to find it. I don't know what I did. I somehow deleted a PSA grade reveal video. I did it. I shot it. I filmed it. I created the spreadsheet. and then I think it's gone. I lost it. That's just what happens when you get old as hell, right? You forget how to do things, even things you do every day. So again, I wanted to be as transparent and truthful and straightforward as possible. I showed you the good. I showed you the bad. Half of the people that watched the videos said, "You're an idiot. PSA screwed you. PSA sucks." And then the other half of the people, well, I should say a third of the people said that. A third of the people are like, "You get extra special grade because you know Nat Turner. You're a big content creator. You're an influencer. They gave you special grades because they want you to talk about it." So I had these people who thought I was getting jousted by PSA. These people thought that PSA was doing me favors, right? And then thank you, for God's sakes, thank you for the vast majority of you that just watched the videos and said, "God damn, this guy, he gets a good order, he gets a terrible order. He gets a good order, he gets a terrible order. That card looks like a 10, he got a 6. That card looks like a 6, he got a 9. You know, shit happens. When you send 1,578, I think all that stuff balances out and it all shakes out. If I had to do it over again, I'd send all these cards to HGA. You know I'm kidding. If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it the exact same way. I'd send them all to PSA. You take the good with the bad. You got to remember, I kept 140 out of 1,578. That means 1,438 of these cards I intended to resell. This is just my personal opinion. PSA is not perfect. BGS is not perfect. Those are the only two that I would consider. I do like Tag a lot. There's just no secondary market for Jordan cards in Tag slabs right now. Will there be one day? I doubt it, but I don't know. Anything's possible right now. That's not who you grade Jordans with. So my choice was PSA or BGS. From a customer service perspective, PSA was absolutely 100% top of the top for me. I can't speak for everybody, but I do have a pretty freaking large sample size. Remember, I sent 1578 from this collection, but I've probably sent 30,000 in my collecting career. PSA's always, I've had no issues with PSA customer service. They've always been top notch. And I don't mean I message Nat every time I don't like a grade. I don't abuse a relationship with the CEO of the company. He's got much bigger fish to fry than I do. Trust me, I'm a tiny fish in a pretty tiny pond down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm talking about the actual people at PSA that I communicated with anytime there was any issue with anything. And a lot of the times, honestly, they're reaching out to me because I screwed something up on a submission. I forgot to list a card and I sent it. Oops, I sent an extra card, you know, this or that, something like that. So, I would not change anything about the way I did this. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I would change. Again, obviously, if cards come back a 6, you would rather not have sent them in the first place because then you got to crack them and do this and do that. But I don't think there's really anything that I would have done differently as far as how I curated and got through this collection. I do have about a little over 2,000 Jordan raw cards for sale. These are, some of them are 10 cents, or some of them are probably 40 cents. Some of them are probably $12. 2,000 of cards like that, right? Some of them are low-end inserts that look like PSA 8s. Some of them are, base cards that could grade PSA 9 or 10. It's all the raw stuff that I just, at that point in time when I looked at it, I decided not to send it. There are hierarchy cards in there. They are for sale. And no, I'm not going to make a list for you of 2,000 cards because, like I said, I am old and time matters a lot more to me than money does right now. But I would love if somebody wanted to swing through Baton Rouge, sit in my office, take 2 hours. You can look through every single one of these cards. I got another 7,000 non-Jordan cards. Shaq, Kobe, Iverson, Ray Allen, Kareem, Magic, Bird, Iverson, Olajuwon, Duncan, Robinson. Go through it. I pulled those guys, right? When I was going through, not all of them, not the Karl Malones, because he's gross. I didn't pull every Stockton. I didn't pull every Gary Payton, but I pulled some. Those types of cards from the 90s, if you collect raw cards and you like to just fill gaps and you're a quantity collector, I got thousands of those for sale. I don't know any way to sell those things. I'm not doing a video. I'm not creating a spreadsheet. I'm not sending them to ComC. They're literally sitting over here behind this monitor on the couch in my office. And, I'm guessing The Jordans are probably worth $3 grand or something like that. That's $1.50 a card, maybe. Some of them are worth 50 cents. Some of them are worth $12. I don't know. I didn't go through and itemize all this stuff. And again, I'm also not picking and choosing what I sell. It's take these boxes of Jordans, give me cash, walk out kind of deal, right? And I'm guessing it's worth $3,000, $3,500, $4,000, something like that. I don't freaking know. Those Jordans are for sale. The non-Jordans are for sale. I know a lot of you guys, and this is where I want to apologize. A lot of you guys have messaged me, and I had the best of intentions to literally collate the collection into here's all the Grant Hills, so I could sell them to a Grant Hill collector. Here's all the Gary Paytons, so I could sell them to a glove collector. Here's all the Dreams over here. Here's the David Robinsons over here. Here's the Adam Keefe's over here. But I didn't have time to do all that stuff, and I'm not gonna do it. It's too time intensive. I'm looking around. I've got 15,000 cards in here right now of players like that, and I just can't do it. I'm sorry, but if somebody wants to buy all these and have a lot of fun, you're certainly welcome to. I am a very generous seller when it comes to this. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm guessing it's 10,000 cards in here that I would like to sell. Otherwise, I'm going to throw them in a closet at the Cajun house, and they'll just sit there until 10 years from now. I'll go back through them, and who knows? Maybe I missed something, or maybe there was something good. I did. If you watch the play, if you watch the whole cross country collection playlist, you do realize I did miss another rubies. There was another rubies in here, and I completely missed the damn card. It looked to me. No, I'm sorry. It was a platinum medallion. I said rubies. It was an ultra platinum medallion. I missed it. Oops, sorry. It's just a platinum. It's just a tier 2 Michael Jordan card that is thrown in here with a bunch of Impel Olympic cards and a bunch of customs. Anyway, that's it, guys. That's the summary. It's a sad day because it's over. It's also a great relief for me to tell you guys this is it. When I click the button, this one's done. Put this to bed. This is the biggest collection I've ever bought in my life. I do want to reiterate to you guys, if you're watching this, I buy collections. I don't want to buy one today because I'm just still trying to breathe. And this one pushed me to the brink. I want to chill and I want to relax and just be a collector and buy and sell like at a normal pace and go to National and have fun. But if you have a collection for sale, or you want to go halfsies on something, or if you got some kind of deal like that, I am always all ears. I will do my due diligence. I will make, shrewd decisions. But the one thing I will tell you is I'm going to tell you the truth. If I'm buying your collection, I'm going to tell you where I need to be at and why. And it's a take it or leave it thing, man. There's no secrets here. So I'll look at the stuff. We can comp it all together and I'll tell you, look, it's worth this. This is what I'm willing to pay. You can do it. You can not do it. If it's a raw collection, great. If it's a graded collection, I'll look at it, right? Usually the value is in me putting in the work and buying raw collections. I'm always looking to buy collections, primarily basketball, but I would look at baseball, football, soccer, whatever, hockey. I guess I have to bring in some people who know about that, but I would do it. That's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the cross-country collection start to finish. If this is your first video you've seen, you're lost. Go back and watch video 1, and you'll know how long of a journey. I feel like freaking Bilbo Baggins. That's how long this journey has been. I feel like I've killed Smaug and come back to nerd out and let you guys know what a nerd I was growing up, and still am, of course, which I'm not ashamed of. I collect cards for a living. I love collecting cardboard pictures of men who played basketball. So whatever, that pretty much makes you a nerd, although it is becoming cooler and cooler to buy and sell and trade cards. So as always, thank you guys for watching the cross country collection. Keep collecting. Feel free to reach out to me on Instagram if you want this Kobe card. It's for sale, or any of these other cards. They are for sale, but I'm not gonna be able to itemize everything for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. Peace.